Hi, my name is Dan Waters, and this is a video about my vermicompost system. I was planning to use leaves and a bunch of dried weeds and chop them up in a leaf shredder and make a large outdoor vermiculture bin. But I started to work on it, and my weed leaf shredder is broken and not functioning. So I shifted gears and have decided that I would replenish a small indoor bin that I have for worms. So here I'm getting these leaves. These are leaves from last fall that I'm gathering up and taking back to my house to shred. This is a picture of the lid of my vermicast bin. You can see the little holes in it to allow it to breathe, but they're not big enough for the worms might be able to get out, but I have not had an issue with the worms trying to get out through those holes. So my plan is that most of the food has been eaten. There's a lot of worm castings in here, but there's still food on top. So my thought is to fill another bin with holes in the bottom of it. So this bin has holes. It also has a large crack in it, but I'll put some leaves and wood chips that I'm soaking in here, and then I'll scrape the food off the top of the old bin and put it in here. I'm going to start feeding the worms in this bin, which will be sitting on top of the old bin, and the worms will, as they get hungry, they'll start to find their way up through these holes, and after a few months the worms will be in the top bin and the bottom bin will just be worm castings. So here's some of the leaves. I put the leaves in a bucket, and then I used this paint mixer on a drill and the lid and stuck that in the bucket and ran it for a while. And when I was done, I ended up with the leaves much shredded. Some of them are still whole, but for the most part they're pretty shredded. And now I'm running some water on them so that I get the 60 to 80% moisture content that the worms like. And I decided to add a few wood chips too, so I'm getting those soaked here. But yeah, so that's the bin. And here you can see this is the bottom bin. This bin has no holes in it. I've got some chunks of wood that are about 2.5 inches thick. So that will that'll keep the bin above it from sitting all the way down and creates a space where the leachate could collect as it drips off and doesn't make a mess on my floor. So this bin will be on top of those blocks, and the new bin with the leaves, wood chips, and some of this food, and I will continue to add food little by little on top of the new bin. But as this food runs out here, I mean, I'm taking most of this food out, but there's anything that's left in there, once it's consumed by the worms, they'll get hungry and move to the top bin, and then this will be basically the worms will leave it, and that's my harvesting system.